You've seen this painting before. I mean, we've all seen this painting. This is the Starry Night, an oil-on-canvas painting by the Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh. Painted in June 1889, it depicts the view from the window of his asylum room just before sunrise, with the addition of an imaginary village. Described as a touchstone of modern art, the Starry Night is one of the most recognizable and influential paintings of all time. Its emotional power and his unique style have captured the imagination of audiences for over a century. Van Gogh created the Starry Night during a pivotal and turbulent period of his life. In 1889, following a severe mental breakdown and the infamous self-mutilation of his left ear in late December 1888, he voluntarily admitted himself to the Saint-Paul-de-Moselle asylum in Provence, France. This asylum was a former monastery that served wealthy patients and was less than half full when Van Gogh arrived. This gave him the chance to have both a second-floor bedroom and a ground-floor room to use as his painting studio. During this time, he created some of his most famous works, including irises, his self-portrait, and by around June 18th, he finished the Starry Night. The painting is often described as depicting the view from his east-facing asylum window before sunrise, a view he painted in at least 21 variations at different times of day and in different weather. The Starry Night was the only nighttime view in the series. During his stay at the asylum, Van Gogh was prohibited from painting in his bedroom. He could only make sketches in ink or charcoal on paper from his barred window. He then used these sketches, or his memories, as the basis for his artwork. The Starry Night was actually painted in his ground-floor studio, where he had no view at all. One element that was not visible from Van Gogh's cell is the village, which is based on a sketch made from a hillside above the village of Saint-Rémy. A defining feature of the Starry Night is Van Gogh's thick, deliberate strokes of paint, a technique known as impasto. This technique gives the painting a three-dimensional quality, making elements like the stars and moon seem to glow. The swirling patterns and bold strokes are particularly noteworthy. For the sky, the brushstrokes swirl, with each dab of color rolling around the stars and moon. On the cypress tree, the strokes bend with the curve of the branches. This dynamic quality creates a sense of motion and energy that captures the viewer's attention and draws them into the painting. The swirling sky is the most striking feature of Van Gogh's The Starry Night, reflecting his emotional struggles and restless thoughts. The dynamic, swirling patterns contrasting sharply with the calm and peaceful village below. In early June, Vincent wrote to Theo, "This morning, I saw the country from my window a long time before sunrise, with nothing but the morning star, which looked very big." Researchers have determined that Venus was indeed visible at dawn in Provence in the spring of 1889, and was at that time nearly as bright as possible. So the brightest star in the painting is Venus. The big cypress tree in the front is important too. In Europe, cypress trees often grow near cemeteries and can symbolize death, but some people see them as symbols of eternal life, faith, or a link between earth and heaven. They can also represent the human soul reaching out to the stars and the universe. Down below, the village looks calm and peaceful, which is very different from the wild sky above. This peaceful town might show the quiet life Van Gogh wished for but felt he couldn't have. The glowing windows of the houses make it feel warm and safe. The village, especially the church steeple, isn't something Van Gogh could actually see from his window. It's probably from his memories of home in the Netherlands, mixing reality with imagination. While many see hope and beauty in the Starry Night, it's important to understand the deeper medical and psychological struggles Van Gogh faced during its creation. His struggles with depression, seizures, and psychotic episodes deeply influenced both his life and his art. He was diagnosed with epilepsy by his treating physicians, though various diagnoses, including bipolar disorder, have been proposed. Some experts suggest that the swirling patterns in the sky may reflect Van Gogh's altered visual perception, potentially caused by his mental state or conditions like temporal lobe epilepsy. It was through his painting that Van Gogh found a way to cope with these intense feelings. For him, Painting became more than a profession, it was a lifeline, a form of prayer and therapy. He poured his heart and soul into his work, using vibrant colors and dynamic brushstrokes to express both his inner turmoil and the beauty he saw in the world. Despite its later fame, Van Gogh himself considered the Starry Night a failure. He told his brother Theo that the search for style takes away the real sentiment of things. This may be because he preferred painting directly from nature, a method he moved away from in this imaginative piece. During his short 10-year career, Van Gogh faced immense financial struggles and little recognition, selling only one painting while he was alive, The Red Vineyard. He relied heavily on the steady support, both financial and emotional, of his brother Theo. The lasting fame of the Starry Night after his death stands in sharp contrast to the hardships he endured during his lifetime. The Starry Night is now one of the most famous and recognizable paintings in the world, appearing everywhere from museums to everyday products. The painting has been a centerpiece of the Museum of Modern Art in New York City since its acquisition in 1941, drawing millions of visitors annually who are swept up in its unspoken song. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next.